Docker build -t, then the Docker file name, image name.
Yeah, Docker build -t, sorry, yeah, -t, image name, tag name, dot. So the dot is in the local directory we are assuming we have the Docker file. Okay. And what is the first instruction of Docker file? What is the first instruction in the Docker file? From is the first instruction. Okay. Maintainer is an optional one. Maintainer is the optional one. Okay. So now today we'll discuss one more. I have a Docker image. Okay. From this Docker image, we have created a container. A Docker container is running. In container, I copied some files and copied the settings files, configuration files. And set up as per our requirement. Now what I want to do is, from that container, I want to create an image. I want to create an image. So normally we can also create from a instance to AMI also we can create, right, with our application settings. First content first we'll create one instance from AMI, but later what we can do?
You can create our own.
Yeah, even our own AMI also we can create. So here you want your own images, we have two methods. One is Docker file. One is
Scratch and base.
Docker file. Second method is so we have one more command called as Docker commit. So what is this?
Please.
So here try to understand. It is useful to commit a container file changes or settings into a new image. That means using the Docker commit. I have already one container, assume my container and give the space image name, my image. Whatever the changes we have in that container are going to come into image. And next time, whenever they want again the same thing, they can use Docker run hyphen name, maybe my container one -p. Assume it's a Tomcat container -d, then use my image one itself. Okay, here also I perform some changes. Then again, I want image Docker commit my container one to my image two. So normally we used to create containers from the images, but if that required those changes itself for more missions, then we are going to use the Docker commit. Okay, so but compared to Docker file and Docker commit, can you guess which is the best method? So which is the recommended method? Docker file. For the automation also, Docker file is the best machine to create. Okay, but we need to know this also. Say I have a running container for the last 1 year. Okay, now I want to move that to another mission like this. In those scenarios, you can convert that into.
We'll use Docker commit.
Okay, and the commit operation is not going to bring the volume again to the new container. Also attach the same volume.
The volume from the container.
Yeah, that my container volumes data won't come into the image. Again, explicitly we need to attach it.
From the old container.
No. For the new container also, we want the same data, then attach the same volume to the new container.
Yeah. Understood.
Okay. Any doubt in this?
Sir, there is one question. So a container can only have one image or it can have multiple images?
Come again.
A container can have only one image or multiple images?
Containers can have
A single image or multiple images?
no. Container can run from the one image itself, but in the Docker file we can have multiple from images.
Okay. So that's why I was getting.
Yeah. In the Docker file we can have multiple, but we'll use the last image itself finally.
Okay. So I was doing the
That
practical
I'll
of.
explain in multi-stage Docker file.
Yes, I was doing the practical of yesterday's task given by you. To connect two containers.
Yeah.
I was getting.
It's a multi-stage Docker file. That is.
Okay.
Finally, it takes the last image itself.
And the port number should also be different, right, sir? Because it was showing port conflict when I was creating another container.
Another container should have host port should be different, otherwise we'll get the conflict.
Yeah.
Do you understand, right? What is Docker commit?
Yes, sir.
The people will ask you how to create a image from container like that. Then you need to tell Docker commit.
Yes.
Okay. So now today everyone create one Dockerhub account. Okay. So what we need to do is once we create the images locally, we need to push to registry. In real time, we need to scan those images. In the real time, we need to scan those images also. So can you guess why we need to scan those images? Is like there may be any vulnerabilities are there. So that is the purpose. We need to
Scan
the images in the real time. It's mandatory. We need to scan the. Okay. Any doubts on this? Okay. Say how to push to Docker registry. We'll discuss how to push to. We'll create an image, we'll push that one into Docker registry. For that, what is the Docker registry we are using is Dockerhub. So we need to create an account with Dockerhub. Otherwise, we can use AWS ECR also. Okay, create an account in Dockerhub. I'm resetting the password.
Dockerhub creation to put the image from locally to remote. Dockerhub create.
I'm trying to sign up. I have reset the password. Okay, I have logged into this. Here you can create a repos. So to which of the images we want to push, those images we can. My Tomcat. So Cloudsoft HYD is my username. Okay, so this is the repo. You can create either a public repo or private repo. What is the difference is, if it is a public repo, anyone can pull the image.
Okay.
Can require authorization. Private repo, also it required for pulling also it's required.
Authentication.
Authentication is required for pulling also. So I'm going to create as of now the public repo. Private, they have given for free account only one private repo itself. I'm creating one repo. Meanwhile, I'll create one instance. I'll create one instance. Dockerhub I'll create. I'll take Ubuntu. So here in the same way, just we have Docker Hub, we have ECR also. What is the meaning of ECR? Elastic Container Registry. Elastic Container. I don't want to use Docker Hub. Okay. I want to keep in AWS itself. Then the AWS solution is Docker Hub, Amazon Elastic Container Registry. Even we can create or share our registries or images. Okay, publicly or say here also you can create the repo, either public repo. Say there we got in the Docker Hub, I got a cloud. So this already exists with my name itself. I'll give my Tomcat new. I'm trying to create that. So here also I can create the same container, either public or private. I'll give public itself or private. Anything is fine. But to push anyhow, we require the login. Only the prefix is changing with the Docker Hub and ECR. Check the basic details. For this, they are telling to create a repo also first. So this is the URL. Okay, we'll use this. Meanwhile, I'll go to EC2. We'll push to these. Our images will push to this. So I have installed the Docker. Okay, for this, without giving the sudo permissions, we can give. So we need to reconnect the session to effect that. Okay, so then I'm going to create one Jenkins file. So this is the Docker file. From this, I'm going to create an image. So here, instead of this var file, I'm going to keep jenkins.var. If you want to give the same, like we are downloading the file, right? Okay, Jenkins var. Okay, give that URL and try with add itself. Here, add and give that URL.
URL.
From where we are getting downloaded that. From where we are getting downloaded. So these all comments, no issues. Add a maintainer also. And I'm going to create one Docker file. I'm going to create one Docker file. I'll create one directory. VI Docker file. So what is the like a Docker build dot. But it throws an error because we didn't have the Jenkins var. Download that Jenkins var. Add and copy this link. Then you no need to download it. So the Jenkins.var has been saved. So now what I need to do is I want to copy this var file into image by running the Docker file itself. Again, I'm building it. Copying and sudo Docker images. I got my Tomcat 1. Now what is my requirement is I have my repo. My repo name is my Tomcat Jenkins. To this, I want to push. Now here, Docker push Cloudsoft my Tomcat I'll try to run this command, but I need to do one more step or two steps. We have those or those I'll see. So now here I'm trying to push to so I'll give a tag name is one itself I'm going to give. But here locally the image is my Tomcat. There the repo name is my Tomcat Jenkins 1. The image with the Cloudsoft HYD / my Tomcat, we don't have any image. Then we need to rename our image using a command docker tag. So what is the command? Docker tag. Say docker tag my Tomcat 1. Okay. Say we need to rename this one into not rename. We're adding one more tag Cloudsoft HYD / my Tomcat Jenkins 1. If I don't bring that repo compatible name or tag, then we can't push it. Now we got it right. What is Cloudsoft HYD? That is our username. So in the public, we require both the username and the repo and like we require these all the details. Otherwise, we can't push because my Tomcat Jenkins, lot of people may keep. That's the reason repo and our username is a combination. Now I'll try to push that image. Say, you understand, right? We need to give the appropriate tag. You give the appropriate tag, then push it. So in order to push that, what is the problem here is we didn't log into this. Okay, so log into the repo. Because for pull, at least for the public repo, we no need of login. But if it is a private repo, even for pull also we required login. Now, what is my username? Cloudsoft HYD and I reset the password. Login is successful. Then I'll try to push it. Then I'll try to push this one. Now, I'll build again the image with the tag 2. So here, meanwhile, come and see here in your repo that that image would be pushed. The my Tomcat Jenkins with one tag, we got the image or not?
Yes, sir.
So if we have 100 tags also, all those would be pushed to that. All those would be pushed to that. I'm trying to create one more tag, second tag. The my Tomcat 2. Then what I need to do next step before pushing, what I need to do? Before pushing it, what I need to do? I need to tag to the compatible name, my Tomcat 2. Okay, I bring that to Docker push okay, so now go and check here. This repo will see. Now we got second also. So in the same way, try to push to ECR. But in order to push to ECR, we require AWS credentials and need to log in through AWS configure, then push it. There we don't need of Docker login. We need to log into AWS CLI. Then try to log into that. Is it fine? So try to push to, because we may use different registries. Then need to do one assignment. Go to so what is the website? Katacoda.com. Okay, I think CODA, katacoda.com. Okay, so from katacoda.com, it redirects to Orally. Actually, recently, Orally has acquired Katacoda. So go to Orally. From there, you can redirect. So now, here, try now or sign in. Go for a start a free trial. So create an account here. In this, you can practice Docker, all those we can practice. So once you sign in, so I log into this, right? Okay, so go for search for your Docker. So here go to Docker related. One second, we need to go for interactive tutorials. I think my trial is done. Create a new account. Go to But everyone create an account. I think my account is expired. That is the reason it's not showing. Okay, say they'll give 10 to 15 days. Meanwhile, try to practice most of the tutorials. Okay, everyone create an account and tomorrow I'll show how we can practice on this. For me, it is asking the billing, but we can practice lot of interactive tutorials in the Katakoda or ORL. Okay, so these are having very good tutorials. Try to create different Docker images and push them to Dockerhub by shown. Okay, so now I'll create one container first. From that container again, I'll create one more image. I'll use the images my Tomcat 2 I'll use. Otherwise, from the repo also, repo images Cloudsoft HYD / my Tomcat Jenkins :2 we can use. The Docker PS, this container, my Tomcat container is running. So assumes I'll perform some changes or I'll copy some changes in this. Then from this, I'm going to create the container, Docker commit my Tomcat container. Then I want the new image, my image 3 I'll use. Okay, so then that container, from the container, one image has been created, my image :3. And whenever we create the tag 3 or any new tag, better to create one more tag with the latest also. What is the advantage is if they don't give that any of the tag, then if you have a latest tag also for that tag, then that image would be created or downloaded. Okay, any doubts till now? Any doubts? So try to push to ECR also, because these all the operations every day will do. Okay, pushing all these also every day we are going to do, because we'll get a lot of microservices codes. All those we need to do the pull and push and run those. Even in Kubernetes also, Docker images we are going to use. So remaining all we may not use, but pushing to the registry, scanning, all these we need to do as part of like our microservice deployment. That is the reason we need all these hands-on is required more. Okay.
Okay, sir.